What is up, you guys? We are back with another video today. Today we kind of got a busy day. Not only am I at work, but I was able to bring my car in today and work on it, just like I said. In the last video, I'm going to be checking everything over. Bolt check, alignment, drain the oil, do all that. Just basically freshen the whole entire car up. Also going to do a coolant flush because I'm running into an issue where the car is starting to overheat a little bit. It has a 180-degree thermostat in it, but it is now starting to overheat a little bit past 200, which is no bueno, especially doing wide open throttle pulls and all that. So I definitely want to get all that figured out. I don't really want to hurt the car or anything. It's a brand new, fresh motor this season, so I just swapped it in. I just swapped it in a couple months ago. I'm not really trying to hurt the motor yet. So yeah, today we're actually going to be pulling off the turbo setup because not only do I have to replace the gasket, but the tuner also said go ahead and turn it up to 20 pounds. Right now we are tuning it for 15 pounds, but since we finished the tunes yesterday, we are going to go ahead and turn it up to 20 pounds on 93. So once we get all that figured out, then we can go ahead and start tuning it for E85, which is definitely going to be a really good time. So yeah, I got to start by pulling off the turbo, and then I got to take the exhaust off, the wastegate off, switch the springs and all that, and then I got to figure out the coolant system. Also, these are the springs I was talking about. I have to put in 20 pounds worth of springs into the wastegate because my boost controller that I have currently took a shit and it's not wanting to turn the boost up every time you turn the dial up. So I'm going to be putting 20 pounds in, and I also have to figure out what rate one of the springs are because the company that I emailed, they told me what PSI all the springs make except for one spring, which I actually need to know. So finally got the turbo off. As you can see, it is no longer there, which is pretty awesome. So I pulled everything off. Now I have to start pulling. This wastegate apart. I just got to take off all these Allen keys on the top and then put the new springs in. I'm also going to replace all these gaskets. But other than that, this wastegate has been holding up pretty well. So now it's definitely time to turn it up a bit. The turbo's actually still holding up pretty well. There's minimal shaft play. So it's a journal bearing. It's an eBay GT35. Isn't the 82R, which is the one that I want because it's dual ball bearing and it spools up a lot faster and makes way more power than this. But it was just a quick setup that I wanted to make. So got all that taken off. Now I'm just going to replace this gasket down here, and then I'm going to replace the wastegate gasket down there. Also checking everything over, making sure all the studs for the manifold aren't loose, just retighten all those. Just like I said, I'm gonna go through everything, make sure everything is tight. I gotta take the coolant housing off and the thermostat out next, and then I have to get new bolts to bolt the turbo onto the manifold. Also, I noticed on the turbo, I'm glad I pulled it off, one of the bolts on the compressor housing actually backed out, so I gotta put some Loctite on those and find a new bolt. I'm probably gonna switch out the fitting and all that. Other than that, it actually is holding up pretty well. This turbo was $135 and it's actually serving its purpose. It's doing very well. I do want to remake the hood exit. I'm not going to do that today, but I do want to have more of an angle, probably like a 45-degree angle, like a slant coming out of the hood. The basically straight 90-degree is fun and all, but I rather have it at a slant just so that way it's you know, pointing more towards the side of the car instead of straight up. So gotta get that all situated. So now I'm gonna start pulling apart this wastegate and get the new spring in. And then just like I said, get all the new gaskets. You can see that this gasket was cooked. You can see where the exhaust gases were going out. So this is the old gasket. As you can see, this gasket is completely blown. So got to put a new one in there. I'll figure something out. I don't think I have any with me, but I'll see if I do. Yeah, so got to get that all situated, and then hopefully we can get this thing tuned today. So I'll give you guys an update here soon. All right, guys. So I got the turbo all situated. I got a new bolt in the compressor housing. I got a new gasket for the exhaust, and then I rechecked this oil drain gasket. That was still good. Now I have the wastegate spring in. Now I'm just getting all the gasket stuff situated. I gotta put this back on the wastegate, and then now I just gotta put everything back together and then start dealing with the cooling system. Still gotta button up the little stuff. Like I gotta put the clamp on this coupler, and then I have to tighten down the oil drain clamp, and then the only other thing I have to do is just put the wiper cowl back on, and then that'll be it for the turbo kit. I got the new spring in there, so hopefully I'll be around 20 pounds, maybe a tiny bit more. Hopefully my boost controller can actually work and, you know, compensate if I gotta lower it or turn it up. So hopefully that's not an issue. Just still gotta button everything else up, like put the coil pack on, check the spark plugs since I'm already that close to taking them out. Just hook the connector back up, and then then I gotta move on to doing the coolant system. And then after that, I'll drain the oil, do an oil change, and then just check everything else out, check all the bolts and whatnot. So yeah. As you can see, I got everything put back together. Everything is tightened down. All the vacuum lines are ran. I got the new spring in there, and I just took it for a test drive, and turns out that that is a 20-pound spring. So that is what I was looking for. When I got on it, it spiked around 22, 23 pounds, and it holds around 20, which is what I needed because the tuner told me to turn it up, which, I mean, I ain't gonna argue that. So it definitely woke it up a little bit. So now I'm just gonna take it for a couple more test drives, do a couple data logs, and send it back to the tuner. And then that way we can finalize the 93 tune on 20 pounds for this car. And then once we're done with that, then we can go ahead and start tuning it for E85, which is definitely gonna be one hell of a good time. So I got a power goal in mind. The next dyno day, when it is tuned on E85, I would definitely put my car in the dyno to see what numbers it makes. I want somewhere around 400 to 450 on E85. I already know I'm probably gonna max my pump out. I got a 255 pump, but I got a lot of plans coming up for this car for the winter. Definitely looking for a full build. Not 100% sure yet because there's another car that I want to pick up. So yeah, today went good. You know, I took the whole turbo kit off, bled the coolant system, did all that. Everything turned out perfectly fine, and I'm pretty proud of how well everything went today. So, you know, some days we have good days, some days we have bad days, and today is definitely a good day. Now it's time to clock out from work, get home, and then enjoy the rest of my day. So I'll see you guys and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.